Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I shall make a statement, with your permission, on discrimination in football. The government is concerned about the recent rise in racist abuse in football, which threatens to overshadow everything we love about our national sport. Last weekend, the English Football League said it was saddened, disappointed and angered after a weekend of fixtures were blighted by 4 separate incidents of alleged racism against players. At the same time, in the Premier League, Crystal Palace's Wilfried Zaha reposted an online tweet calling him a diving monkey. This all happened on the very same weekend that the Premier League's new No Room for Racism campaign was visible at grounds up and down the country. Late last year, the unthinkable occurred. A banana skin was thrown on the pitch in the direction of a player during the North London derby. At the same time, we saw the abuse Manchester City forward Raheem Sterling suffered at Stamford Bridge. Mr. Speaker, we all witnessed the appalling scenes of racism directed at several of our England players in Montenegro. Homophobic and anti-Semitic chanting, both here and abroad, has been prevalent in recent times. English football is revered across the globe for its excitement and passion. No other sport or country opens its doors and embraces so many different nationalities. We simply cannot have millions of people, in particular our young people, tuning in or witnessing firsthand the type of vile abuse that has been apparent of late. Abuse directed at our players, our managers and by opposing fans. Now, Wilfried Zaha, Raheem Sterling and Danny Rose all deserve our respect for speaking out about the abuse that is happening now. But ultimately, they deserve our support. They need clear demonstrations that zero tolerance of this behaviour means just that. Be it player, manager or supporter, nobody who goes to games should have to tolerate discrimination of any kind, whether playing or attending. Yeah. We welcome the Football Association's call for UEFA to take strong and swift action following the events in Montenegro. However, if this country is going to show the rest of the world that this behaviour is intolerable, then we need to ensure we're making all efforts to combat discriminatory behaviour domestically. Now, Mr. Speaker, I want to put on record that there is some fantastic work being done by many of our clubs to stand up to the challenge of racism and intolerance. And it must be said that the majority of our football fans behave impeccably, creating a fantastic atmosphere, which is a major part of the experience of watching live football. Racism is not of football's making, but sadly it is being used by certain individuals or groups to spread hate. This extends to the grassroots, with Kick It Out reporting a rise in racist incidents at this level too. Mr. Speaker, it cannot be right for clubs to be fined for players taking action and walking off the pitch if they are receiving racist abuse. It is vital that players are supported. This fine sends out the wrong signal. The FA must review whether its rules as they stand and their guidance give clubs the effective use in these situations. Putting a stop to this is a challenge that affects all fans, all clubs, all football agencies at all levels. This government is determined to help in tackling this problem. On the 25th of February, I brought many of the various administrators, campaign bodies, fan groups and representatives, players and managers and organisations together for a summit to discuss this issue and collectively decide on what steps it must take to help eradicate it. At that summit, it was agreed a number of areas need to be examined further. These were the first 6 initial areas. Firstly, to review if football's current sanctioning regime goes far enough, and if not, what more is needed to act as a deterrent for this type of behaviour. Secondly, to ensure that the partnership between football authorities and the police is close enough to improve the identification and sanctioning of offenders at matches. Thirdly, to ask if we give enough support to stewards. Can we improve their capacity to deal with discrimination consistently throughout the leagues? Can football improve the information flow of incident reporting on the pitch and support players? How can we double down on efforts to ensure match officials, stewarding operations, coaching and academy staff are all fully able to engage in their responsibilities to maintain an open and inclusive sporting environment? And also, initiatives to help increase the numbers of people from BME background in football professions beyond playing. Transparency and opportunities in the recruitment processes are absolutely central to this. This government will now work with these key groups to deliver clear, tangible actions in the areas I've just described. My intention is to announce that these in partnership with football before the end of the summer. If we're able to deliver these before, then even better. I want to see change ready for the next season. Mr Speaker, the ongoing cross-government sports strategy, Sporting Future, a strategy for an active nation, seeks to ensure access to sport is equal for all. It is vital that the atmosphere and environment in which sport and physical activity takes place in our communities, be it at grassroots or at elite level, is safe, supportive and free of discrimination and intolerance. The experience of players, staff and fans, therefore at football games, both home and abroad, will prove the ultimate test of success in this area. But I am confident that the appetite is there to accept this challenge, and by working in partnership we will squash and quash this disturbing, ugly recent trend in racism across our beautiful game. I commend this statement to the House.